So good morning. Today, I have a story about Gus of when he had his heart attack. It was a weird day. It was February the 28th. Actually, February 27th. We had dinner. We had chalupas. Normal dinner that we normally have. And I went to bed a little early, like maybe 9 o'clock. And then Gus stayed up because he was feeling like indigestion, heartburn kind of thing. You know, like, I guess if you go to sleep too early, right after you eat, sometimes you get that acid reflux kind of thing. Well, he was telling Philip, that feels weird or whatever. So he stayed up, and they finally went to bed. And then, I guess about 4 in the morning, he wakes me up and he's like, "John, I don't feel good. Something is wrong." And I'm asking, what's going on, and he's telling me his symptoms, and I get scared, and I called my my coworker, my boss, Mary, and I said, "Hey, Gus is feeling this way. What should I do?" And then she tells me to give him an aspirin, and if he's still feeling that way, to go to the emergency room. So I'm telling Gus, "Hey, we got to do this," and he's like, "Okay, so let's go." So we get dressed and we go to the the 24-hour emergency urgent care thing, and we get there and it's closed. So then I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna go to the ER, the hospital," and Gus is like, no, let's just go home. It's probably nothing. Like, it's a sign. It's closed. We don't need to go. So I didn't want to just say okay, but after a few minutes of us having our debate, discussion, or whatever, so then I end up going home, and I'm like this, I'm asleep. I'm laying down in the bed, looking at him, watching him, and then I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna doze off, and if it would wake me up." So then he takes his shower and everything, and then I didn't know, but he was still feeling that way. So he tells me at 8 o'clock, and he goes, "Okay, John, go ahead and take me to the urgent care, because I'm still feeling that same way." And I'm like, "What? Okay." So I take him. I tell him, that he's having some chest pains and not sure what's going on. So they take him straight to the back, and they're like, "Okay, well, we'll do what we have to do." My goodness, sure enough, we go to the back and put him on the machine, the EKG machine. He's laying there, and there with, waiting. And she comes out and she says, she shakes her head, and it's not a while, but it's a little bit, and she sticks her head in the door and she says, "He's actively having a heart attack." And I'm like, "What?" And so she says, "We've already called the ambulance. The ambulance is on the way." And Gus is like, "What did she say?" And I said, "She said you're fine. You're doing good. So just hang out. We'll see what's going to happen." So, sure enough, ambulance gets there, and I'm just freaking, I'm calling Janie, Gus's sister, trying to text her, "This is what's going on." Nothing. I'm calling her on the phone, no answer. I don't think I called any of my family yet, but so I'm just freaking out a little bit, just a little. We they hook him up to the stretcher, and then they go. We're in the back of the ambulance, and I'm like, You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. And then he tells me, he goes, I don't want to die like my dad died. And I'm like, you're fine. You're okay. You're in an ambulance. They're gonna take care of you. He's like, okay. So then we're going, and he's just sitting. He's laying there, and then he starts foaming at the mouth. I mean, just like the movie, foam just comes out. And I'm looking at him, and I tell the paramedics, something is wrong. And he's like, he said something. I don't know what he said. We lost him, or he's having a heart attack, or whatever. So he starts doing the compressions right there in front of me. I mean, literally right there. And he's going down, he's going hard. And you see Gus going like this. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, whoa, this is happening. And ambulance, sirens are going off, and we're just driving. And it's so surreal, you're in there. And it just seemed like the longest ride because, we went from Ingram Road to Babcock, which is about 15 minutes, but it seemed like it took forever. And so we're there, and I could hear, well, he did say, he's flatlined, and then he does the clear thing, and then he shocks him with the paddles. And it's crazy when it's happening right in front of you, and it was. So we're there, and we're at the hospital now. And the funny thing is, if you're having a cardiac arrest in the ambulance, they don't open the doors until they have a rhythm of the heartbeat. So the other person came to the back, and they're working on Gus, and I'm just like right there. And they lost him again. And then, then they say, okay, we have a heartbeat. They open the doors, and it's just like right there is the ER. And like in the movies, it seems like it just like stretched. It was like it was a really long walkway, which is not. And so we go, and they put him in that first little emergency cubicle, and like a nun stands in front of the door, and she says, sir, can I, my name is so-and-so, I'm here to help you. And I said, okay, I need to call his sister. I need to call his other sister, let them know what's going on. I need to call my sisters to tell them what's happening. And so, in the hospitals, the phones are horrible. And so I called Lucy, and I let her know. And then I finally got a hold of Janie, and I said, Janie, we're at the hospital. Gus is having a heart attack. They're working on him right now. I need you to get here. And she's like, what are you talking about? No. I called Bill first. I got a hold of Bill. And then I got a hold of Janie. Then, but I'm looking in the bay, and they're ripping Gus's pants off with these scissors, and they're still working on him. And I'm just like, oh my God. How many times are they going to shock him? The doctor goes in there, and she's looking at him, and they're just all talking, and I'm watching. And the nun, God bless her, she's trying to get my mind off of it, or trying to redirect me, and I'm just like, but anyway, that happens. And then the doctor comes out, and she says, okay, he had a heart attack. They shocked him the maximum of times, which was I think 9 times. And he has a couple clogged arteries. They're going to put a couple stents in, and she says he'll be fine. But then she tells me, with the heart attack, I don't know what kind of brain damage he's going to have, because he was out for a while, and of course, I'm thinking the worst. He's gonna have some issues, and this is gonna be my life, is taking care of him forever, which I signed up to do. That's what I'm gonna do. But so they go. He's having surgery. I'm in the waiting room, and then Lucy shows up, and then Bill shows up. Janie shows up. And I lose it. And I'm also a vain uncle. I'm like, I'm in my shirt that I fell asleep in. It's all wrinkled and whatever, and I need to change. And Lucy's like, do you need something? She's giving me. She gave me a Xanax actually because I needed it, and family gets in the waiting room and everything, and it's surreal. And then the doctor comes out and she says everything is fine. He's intubated, and we're gonna just wait to see how he is when he comes out. And she says he can't talk because he's intubated, and so it's like, wow. And I asked if I can go in. And the thing at the hospital over there at Methodist, they were very much, okay, so who are you? And I said, I'm his partner. And at that time, we were just partners. And I'm his partner, and we've been together this many years, blah, blah, blah. And she says, okay, well, you are the contact. You are the point of contact. We will go to you first. And everything was done respectfully. They did respect me. The nurse was like, he's asking. He wrote down, where's John? And which I loved it. And I went to go see him, and he's like this. His hands are like this. And if you've dealt with anyone with brain injuries, that's how their hands are. And I'm thinking, he's gonna be like this forever. And so he was very swollen, didn't look like us at all. And that evening they took the thing out, and he thought it was that same day, but it was the next day. Crazy how life throws these curveballs at you, and you just deal with it, which I'm so glad I did. Don't get me wrong, I love everything that we've been through together. That's my guy. He ended up being, everything is fine. The doctors did follow-ups and everything, and he is great. I would never think that he had heart problems, and he didn't know either. He was thinner than me. Yeah, very active, but it just goes to show you don't know. And of course, then it makes you think of yourself. How well are you taking care of yourself, and what you need to do to make yourself better. And then, you think of mortality and what you have to do to live. But that's what happened. It was so emotional. It was that whole 48 hours was a roller coaster. And those are the things in life that make you stronger and make you connect and be with that person, with your person. So, love him to death. I do anything for him. And that's it. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.